What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know I sound a little funny, guys. There's a reason I didn't do a post-game and I didn't upload yesterday. I've been down in the dumps, guys, in terms of illness. It's got me a little bit here, so I didn't want to go too long without posting, so that's why I'm posting today. And in the theme of that, guys, we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts and the deeper analytics behind his play. So to begin with, let's just go over his numbers on the year so far, which is time to throw, 3.02, which is the fifth highest mark in the league. Completed air yards, 4.5, tied for about 28th. Intended air yards, 8.3, tied for 19th overall. Aggressive percentage, 15.5%, middle of the pack, 17th in the league. Air yards to the sticks is negative 0.8. It's about a yard short of a first down marker on average, 20th in the league. Completion percentage is currently 67.2. And just to give you guys a fair, analysis of completion, the expected completion percentage is 63.3. A couple things to get into here real quick, guys. To begin with, intended air yards. If you guys remember, in week 1, Jalen Hurts ranked 32nd overall. He wasn't really pushing the ball down the field. Well, last week, he ranked number 1 overall, 14.6 yards. On the season, it's 8.3, so it's about 19th, but we see a big difference in what was presented in week 1 from week 2 from a schematic standpoint. A lot of guys were calling for deeper throws. You cannot just throw just to throw. It's got to be there with the defense. It's got to be set up right. I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The offense I saw Sunday, I should say, that offense was eerily similar to what we saw in 2020. It was eerily similar. It was a pointless vertical attack that was easy to predict and see. And I'm not saying that we didn't have success from time to time. The Quez Watkins 91-yarder was beautiful. But a lot of those balls, man, yes, the Devontae Smith one, I do think that I saw some issues with the footwork there. It's hard to say without the all-22 guys. So I can't really, look like fundamentally Hurts was a little off. Because if he'd have pushed the ball back towards the center, back towards the right a little bit, Devontae probably comes down with a touchdown or is at least first and goal there. So the ball was a little underthrown, a little off, and I don't think that has anything to do with Jalen's actual arm strength. I think Jalen has plenty of arm strength there. I think his technique was off, which caused a little bit of an underthrow there, and it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. I'm not saying we should never go for those kind of passes. I'm not saying that at all, guys, but there's a complete difference in the depth of targets in this game. And to me, it got to a ridiculous extent. I don't know. I heard the dominant media guys saying that it was pandering to the fans. And I don't know. It's hard to say without being in the room, guys. I don't know if it was pandering to the fans or if it was just Nick watched whatever film of San Francisco and thought that, with the lack of them having corners out there, they were playing a lot of new faces that really hadn't been around a long time. Give DeMeco Ryans his credit, guys. DeMeco Ryans is defensive coordinator. I thought he had a good game, and I think Nick Sirianni's got to be better than that. I completely believe in Nick Sirianni, guys. I'm not jumping off the Nick Sirianni train. I really think Nick Sirianni's going to be a really good coach in this league. I think we found a good one, but that was Nick Sirianni at his worst in week 2, in my opinion. I thought it was far too much of an outside vertical offense that became entirely too predictable, and I think it does play out in some of the numbers. All right, let's get a little deeper. Let's talk about play-action passing. Play-action passing on the season, Jalen Hurts is 10 of 16, 62.5% completion rate, 82 yards, 5.1 yards per average, 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions, 1 turnover-worthy pass, 1 throwaway, a 45.4 passer rating given out by Pro Football Focus. I ain't too sure on that one, guys. 1 sack and 8.3 average depth of target. Here's my issue here, guys. 10 of 16, 62.5% completion rate to me I like. I just think they're overvaluing 1 turnover-worthy pass, which was the deep play down the middle to Devontae Smith. I think they're overvaluing that, guys. I think it's a little ridiculous to rate that at 45 personally, but that's the thing about ratings. They're subjective. I don't know how they formed it. 1 sack, 1 turnover-worthy pass, no turnovers on the season. I don't know, guys. I would like to see more play-action passes, and if you're going to take those vertical shots, I like it coming from that. I just think Nick and the guys need to work a little bit with Jalen Hurts on the fundamentals of throwing those deeper passes off of play action. There's a little flaw there, guys. I mean, we missed it. It sucks. It happens, guys. I'm not I'm not going to get too crazy about that off of week 2. Now, if it keeps continuing throughout the season, yes, we got a problem. But 1 week, 1 bad pass, I think there's a little too much overreaction going on, guys, to be quite honest. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts will or won't work out. I don't know yet. But I think people are just very reactionary right now. No play action. Completions, 29, attempts 42, 69% completion rate. Very good completion rate there. 372 yards, 8.9 yards per average, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 4 big-time throws, 0 turnover-worthy passes, 1 throwaway, a passer rating of 90.7. Coming off those big-time throws compared to no turnover-worthy passes is probably why, guys. 2 sacks, average depth of target is 8.9 yards. Non-play action passing has been working so far, but I still think you got to keep it varied, guys. I know you can look at that and say, "Gate, why do play action? We're doing so well without it." Teams will figure it out, and they'll target in on you. So you have to do it. You got to do some play action. And let's be honest, a lot of our play action has been basically those tunnel screens, right? It's been hitting those wide receiver screens. It's really the only one I can think of off the top of my head was Devontae Smith, where it wasn't that, where it was a play action, kind of pushing it down the field. I do think there was one other one, but I'm not too sure if it came off of a screen type situation or if it was just a play action pass that just, it's got lost in the shuffle of things. Because I think we had 8 last week and we're at the 10 this week, so 10 on total, must be 2 last week. We'll have to see. From 8 week 1 to 2 week 2, I think, is what it comes down to. Screen game. 10 completions, 11 attempts, 90.9% completion rate. 100 yards, 9.1 yards per average, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 0 big-time throws, 0 turnover-worthy passes, negative 3.5 yards on the average depth of target. Obviously, they're screen passes. No sacks. Screen game has worked, but I thought we should have stayed with it a little more. I thought we should have challenged San Francisco on the outside more than what we did. I do get we can't be that predictable, and you can't go back to that every single time that you do play action. Every time you do any, you know what I'm saying? It can't just be off of that. Teams will figure it out. But I also believe in the philosophy of don't change something that's working. Keep doing it until teams figure it out and shut it down. Just start building your playbook to where you start seeing teams are playing it better. You got something else to go to. Balance it out a little bit, and I think we'll be fine. I think the screen game's been working fairly well. I think we're blocking it up better. I mean, there's a few times where I think teams have gotten in there, but I would like to see us kind of keep continuing the screen game and vary it up. Don't let them see it's coming so obviously. Non-screens, guys, 29 to 47, 61.7% completion rate, 354 yards, 7.8% yards per average, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 4 big-time throws, 1 turnover-worthy pass, 8.8 yards on average depth of target, 3 sacks. What I like about that, guys, is that shows you more of a reality base when you pull the screens out, right? So targets, accuracy. Now we see it down to about 61%, almost 62% completion rate. 4 big-time throws, 1 turnover-worthy pass, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. It gives you what I think is the bigger underlying thing with Jalen Hurts, which is, yes, accuracy has to prove, and I think it's more from a fundamental standpoint of playing the position. He needs to clean up some things, in my opinion, personally. I need all 22 to give you guys more focused stuff, and I'm waiting on that. Hopefully it gets put out this week for everybody, everyone's use. But in addition to that, guys, we're also seeing Jalen Hurts isn't putting the ball in harm's way very often. You got 1 turnover-worthy pass, guys. It's not bad. 1 turnover-worthy pass is means he's playing very smart football, to be honest, overall. Then I'm going to get into the conversation I'm hearing, which is, look, Jalen Hurts is not throwing the ball. If you looked at the offense, either Nick Sirianni's not dialing up things across the middle or Jalen Hurts is not throwing across the middle. And that is a major concern. With that said, I don't know what's going on without the all-22 guys. I can't say definitively it's more Nick or it's more Jalen. Most of these times, guys, the truth lies in the middle. Between both guys have some blame here. But let's just look at the numbers, right? So deep center, 0 for 2. Intermediate center, so intermediate is 10 to 19 yards. 1 to 1, and then short center is 4 of 5. Behind the line of scrimmage towards the center is 9 of 9. Let's remove the behind the line of scrimmage for a second and just look at deep, intermediate, and short. So 5 of 8, 56 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, no big-time throws in the 1 turnover-worthy pass, which was to Devontae Smith. So I look at this, and what I will say is like on the surface, it does look like, okay, like This is not good. I mean, we're not really we're not throwing 3 attempts over 10 yards across the middle of the field. Is what to look at. But I will say, when I look at that, when I include the short, so those 4 completions on the short, so between 1 yard and 9 yards, 3 first downs came from that. So 3 out of the 4 passes in the short center have resulted in first downs. So there is some production coming from the middle, but it's not above 10 yards, guys. We are not throwing a lot there, and that's where I think we've got to get some stuff figured out going forward. That's how you improve the football team, guys. Work these tight ends, get these tight ends involved in the offense. I will also say, guys, I think this is a big part of missing a true boundary side receiver. Hopefully some of you guys remember when I told you I love Nick Sirianni. I love this guy's mind. I absolutely became a fan of his when I heard him talk in Indianapolis when I started breaking down coaching candidates. With that said, I told you guys I wasn't fooled by his statement of alignmentless wide receivers. We don't believe in an X, a Y, and a Z. And I told you guys it's nonsense. That it's nonsense coach speak. There are certain attributes that lead to players. I understand you want your guys to be able to play all 3 positions, but there are certain characterizations when it comes to percentage of snaps and how much you can expect and the things you can do. In my opinion, you've got to get a guy like either J.J. Arcega-Whiteside incorporated into your passing vertical offense here. He's got to be your ball control guy that can go across and catch a dig. Or you got to get Fulgham up on the roster. If not, we're going to be looking for a boundary side receiver, guys. I like Jalen Reagor. I think you could give Jalen Reagor a little bit more opportunities. He's a tough guy. He'll take the hits. But Jalen Reagor he's still working on his route running, to be quite honest, right? Devontae Smith is a very nuanced and a very good route runner, right? But the physicality you worry about playing in the middle. You worry about him being able to stand up to the hits and stuff. He's tough. He's a tough guy, but, physics are physics. I do think that we need solutions there, right? And I think that not targeting your tight ends, not building stuff for your tight ends in there. Like, you got to get stuff for your running backs and your tight ends across the middle. We see the running backs a little bit on the shorter routes, 4 or 5, right? 3 first downs. Got to get these tight ends more involved in the offense, which was what I wanted in the pregame. I said Dallas Goedert, and that didn't happen really, guys. He had a couple of catches. One big one closer to the end of the game, but the other thing to look at here, guys, is deep center time to throw is the longest of any area, 4.1 seconds. The intermediate center is 3.7 seconds. Mostly because it does take longer to throw across the middle, guys. It takes longer for those plays to develop. But also, if you're using things like play action, and then you're stepping up into the pocket to throw, like the Devontae Smith example, that's going to lead to a longer time to throw. But you see when you look at the short and the intermediate, if you look at the short and behind the line of scrimmage, then you get to the faster processing time to throw. So short across the center, 2.38. That's where I see personally a lot of the quick throw stuff is coming from. There's that 1 to 9 yards across the center stuff. And then behind the line of scrimmage, towards the center of the field, 1.78. So, good numbers there. All in all, guys, this is what I see. I see a player that needs more development, right? I'm not jumping off that train yet with Jalen Hurts. I was never fully on any kind of crazy Jalen Hurts train, guys. I said that I think that there's talent behind Jalen Hurts. I do think Jalen Hurts can play, but he does need development. I think it would be, in my opinion, guys, it's much too early to give up on Jalen Hurts. I think people that are doing that, it's too early for that. You can't, it's 2 games. And saying that, we do see that there's some development that still needs to happen with Jalen Hurts. There's also some development that needs to happen with our coaching staff, guys. Let's just call a spade a spade. I like Nick Sirianni. That was not a very good called game, guys. You're getting too cute around the goal line. Just put the ball in the end zone. I would expect us that we got to do something with the X-line receiver stuff. We've got to get these tight ends involved in the passing intermediate stuff across the center. And in addition to that, guys, we need a contact balance back, whether that's bringing up, using Boston Scott, or bringing up Jordan Howard, using Jordan Howard, or going out there, finding somebody through the waiver wire, free agency, whatever it is you need to do. We need to get a guy that can run between the tackles a little bit more when you get backed up in the red zone. Either that or we need to give Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell more opportunities to run between the tackles in the red zone. Something has to give here, guys, or else you're going to struggle in the red zone. These are my thoughts, guys. I want to know what you guys think. Like I said, without the all-22 guys, there are some things I can only make educated assumptions on. I can't break it down and show you it because I don't have it. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and attention. Leave your comments. What do you guys think, guys? What do you think about the numbers I just gave to you? There what they are. If you guys want to follow it, I'll give you the 2 places you can look. If you have the premium stats from PFF, that does cost money, guys. You can go to premium stats underneath PFF and look at depth of targets, and then you can look at pressure rate. You can look at a lot of different things from PFF. Also, if you want a free example where you can see some of this information, go to Next Gen Stats, guys. Look up passing. Go to Next Gen Stats, go to Stats, and look up passing. You can see a lot of that stuff, all right? I appreciate y'all's time and attention, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.